no one's picked up nothing, and it's not because I'm a thicko or I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Nothing is picked up. You've drove it all the way down there on a 60-mile fucking trek and not had any problems. Do you know what I mean? And well, you've had problems. Obviously, the fucking thing won't restart again.
Yeah, because it's not because there's no charge being returned to the battery. The battery's dead flat. We put it on the jumper and it starts half going. There's no charge going to the battery. So the fact that there's no charge going to the battery means that there's no way you were starting it from cold, because it weren't getting recharged. The only way you would have been starting it is if you was charging the battery up every time. That's the only way to start it, because it's draining the battery to drive it. You put the lights on, that's draining it. You put the windscreen wipers on, that's draining it. You put the radio on, that's draining it. It ain't going to start the next time because there's no charge going back to the battery.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, I can hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, so but that's the thing.
The problem was.
But you're saying to me you started it from cold.
I was starting it every single day.
You was what?
Every single day. I started that car in my driveway. And then obviously, yeah, I know, I've said to you, I've jumped it and I've bumped it and everything else. That was all the time I was taking it to and fro for the MOT station.
Yeah,
and the only thing I can think of is it's sat out there, hasn't been driven, the battery's fucked.
No,
well, there is a problem with the alternator, which is why I'm sitting here now. Okay, I've asked for the money back off the bloke that I borrowed the money from in the first place, which I had to pay him back.
Why don't you want me to get a mechanic to look over it? Why don't you want me to now get a mechanic to look over it?
You can, mate. You can go and take it down to a mechanic. I'm not sitting here. If you're telling me, mate, you're happy to just take... Do you know what I mean? That's fine. I'm only sitting here. I'm telling you now, I will take the car back off your hands. You can get whoever you like to look at it, mate, between now and the time I come down, if you want me to come down and give you money back. I'm only trying to say to you, because you said you were still unhappy, and giving you a refund, and you ain't got to worry about it anymore.
Right,
I've got no fucking worries about the car or the MOT.
Right,
if you have both of them while I'm waiting if you want.
If I take the money back, I'm still £200 out of pocket. I'm still down. I've still lost on the tax, I've lost on the insurance, I had to pay my mate to drive me down there, I've had to put diesel in it, I've had to buy a part for the battery clip because the battery clip weren't put on properly, it was just bodged and screwed on with a bit of metal. It was way too big and weren't making enough contact.
Right. Look,
you know what I mean?
I know.
And you're a mechanic and you didn't spot that, you didn't know that, you didn't feel to mention it.
Say that again?
I said you're a mechanic, or you say you know mug with cars, but you didn't feel to mention the fact that the battery weren't connected properly. You must have seen that, must have known that, must have put the screws in there.
I knew it was there, I just forgot to mention it. It wasn't a deliberate thing, I just forgot.
Yeah, I know, but when I've asked you anything wrong, any minor problems, major problems, absolutely anything, nothing gets mentioned. No, sweet as a nut. All there is a bit of rust, bit of corrosion on one headlight. I look at the paperwork, it's on both headlights, and there's 3 tyres near the legal limit, which means all 4 tyres are going to need changing soon. But on the advisory, she told me all there was is a bit of corrosion on the headlight.
I also sat there and said to you, the car's still down the MOT station with this thing, so I can only tell you what I could remember. I couldn't remember everything else. Okay, I feel that I fucked you about. I'm not sitting there, okay?
And either way, exactly.
I know what you're saying, mate.
You can't give me a full refund for everything that I'm out of pocket. You can give me a full refund for the item that I've taken from you, but you can't actually refund the money that I'm out of pocket. And you're saying that the £100 you're certain will sort out all the problems, which one suggests you know what the problems are, and 2, that sort of leaves me in the situation where I would be anyway. You know what I mean?
I don't actually. The problem, I'm saying...
You give me the £100, I pay for the things that need doing, and then I'm in the same situation I was, because I would have had to have paid the tax anyway, I would have had to pay the insurance anyway, so I haven't lost them.
How much did you pay for the tax?
The tax was £125, but I lose the first month because it gets dated back to the 1st of October.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't have it from the 1st to the end of November because it's not November yet, so I've lost those days already in the start. And if I don't get it back to them before the 31st of October, I then lose another month because it's only to the end of the month that they get it back, and then they'll leave it sitting there and whatever, and then try and put it through on the 1st of November because they're fraudsters. That's how the tax system works. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm losing all round. Whatever way it goes, I'm still at a loss.
At the end of the day.
But whatever way it goes, I'm still at a loss. I'm still losing out. So I can either lose out and have to spend another bit of money to get it done up, or I can lose out on having no car, losing the money that I've spent on insurance, losing the money I've spent on tax, losing the money I've spent on travel. At the minute, if it is just what you say it is, and you're willing for me to get it checked out by a mechanic, then it'll just be what you said it is. There's going to be no more comebacks.
I don't actually...
There can't be any more comebacks, can there?
The only 2 obvious things is a battery or the alternator, which is what I've said to you, I don't know. I never knew there was anything wrong with it in the first place. That's my problem.
Well, yeah, well then I'll find out what's wrong with it, and then I know there's no comebacks after that, as long as it's just that. Because you're telling me there's nothing wrong with it. Beyond that, it would have shown up on the MOT if there's anything majorly wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a starter motor, because it starts every time, in your opinion. There's obviously nothing wrong with the fuel leads, because otherwise they wouldn't have pumped fuel through, in your opinion. So in your opinion, all it can be is the battery and the alternator. You're sending me the money for the battery and the alternator. There can't be any more comebacks, can there? That is the case settled. That is the situation settled.
I'm pissed off, okay, the fact.
Yeah, I'm pissed off at the whole situation. I've lost the weekend. I spent time online sorting things out, looking through things. I've made phone calls to make sure that my back was covered and there weren't going to be any problems, and it's all backfired on me. That's why I'm not happy. Exactly, you're not going to be happy. You're not happy even taking the car back, because then you've still got that to sort out. You've still got the bloke who messed you around. It isn't what's going to solve it for you. So why do you think it's going to be what solves it for me? It ain't. I'm still not going to be happy. You want to make me happy. You can't make me happy with giving me the money back on the item, because I'm still out of pocket. And I've still got to get another item, and then I've got to go through the situation again. I'd rather stay where I am, have the money to fix it and get it checked out, and that's as near to happy as I can get. But no, I'm not going to be happy with you, your service, or the item that I've purchased, because that is the situation that we're in. There is nothing else